There's a verse in the Torah that speaks in Bereishit which says, Nasa Adam, let us create man, B'Tzalmeinu Kidmusenu, which is in our image and our form, which is a very puzzling verse, verse 26, which says that let us, in the plural, create man. So the question is the Creator is creating, and it says, let us. Who's the us? Who is the plural? And then it says, let us create in our image and in our form, B'Tzalmeinu Kidmusenu. So what is this idea of the plural? Who is God speaking to? And the next words after that is V'yirdu b'digas hayom, and this creation of this person, this being, shall, which is translated, wrongly translated as shall master this creation. So on a deeper level, the human being is essentially the last of the creation in the creation story, which represents every day of creation represents an evolvement. So it goes from pure light, which is the first day of creation, and life begins to materialize. And the definition of life is complexity and movement. And as the evolvement is going through the days of the creation, representing movement from pure light, which is undifferentiated and pure and no movement, to something that is called something that has a nefesh. A nefesh is something that's a living being, and a creation that has movement, until it evolves to the creation of Nas Adam B'Tzalmeinu, let us create man. And the understanding is, the Kabbalistic understanding of this is, that the human being is created with everything. When God says, when the Creator says in the Torah, Nas Adam, let us create the human being, the us is the plural, the totality of creation. The human being is going to be a reflection of everything that precedes the human being's creation. The human being will be a reflection of heaven and of earth, of beast and of prey, of the insect and of vegetation. Everything within creation will be embodied with this human being. And that ability, because we have the potential of everything within us, that gives us our dimension of freedom of choice. We have choice. We're unlike anything else of creation, which is created in its particularity. A zebra does not decide to take a vacation or a lion to take a vacation and move out to Aruba and sit on the beach and not hunt, because the lion is created in a certain way that it hunts, and that's its nature, and it never deviates from its nature. The human being is the only creation, the way we understand creation, that has the ability to choose its own freedom, to choose its own reality. It can choose to hunt, and it can choose not to hunt. It can choose to be one way, it can choose to be the other way. The possibility of choice comes about because we are a reflection of the everything. Nas Adam B'Tzalmeinu Kidmusenu, because we are a reflection of everything else within creation, we have the potential of everything else within creation, and we can activate at any part of creation within us. We can act like heaven, and we can act like earth. We can act like angel, and we can act like beast. And because we have this inner quality, which is the totality of creation that's reflected within us, therefore we have a responsibility. V'yirdu b'digas hayom, meaning that a man shall lower himself. Man doesn't mean male, but the human being shall lower himself, should enter into the consciousness, into the reality, even of a small fish and even of an insect, because we are really a reflection of everything. Because we contain everything, we have the responsibility for everything. And that's the idea of Nas Adam, let us create. And on a deeper level, the idea of Nas Adam, let us create, is actually man is being spoken to by God, by the Creator. Hashem, the Creator, is telling us, Nas Adam, let us create you. I'm going to give you potential, but me and you are going to make your actual. Whatever you do in your life, you're creating your own existence. God says, I'm giving you the raw potential and the tools, but let us together create you. And this is a tremendous responsibility that we have, because we can just go through life and live an automatic life, a reactive life, and just go through the motions, just live in a place of cause and effect, and because our genetics inform us a certain way, and our environment forms us a certain way, and then we just pass through life, basically in a level of causality, cause and effect. But if we do that, then we never make a choice in our life, and we don't have real freedom. The possibility, the human possibility, is a possibility of true freedom, to transcend their own nature, to transcend their own genetics, and really make anything that you want for yourself. And the base of this reality is the possibility for this reality to really make anything of yourself is because Nasa Adam, God's saying, I am going to create you with me. We're both going to create yourself. And because you're a reflection of everything, you can do whatever you want. But in order to do that, you have to actually believe that. You have to dream the possibility of change. And that's really the narrative of the Torah, where it speaks about Adam and Eve, and Adam falls asleep, and Eve is created through Adam's tsela, which the word tsela, the root word tsela, which is side, is the same word as tzel, which is shadow. Eve is created through Adam's shadow in a state of sleep, which symbolically represents that Eve, Adam's creation, and this is also reflected man and woman, because Adam can be Eve's creation. Eve is created in the dream state of Adam. Adam dreams up Eve in order to create an Eve, in order to create another. Every relationship that we have in our life, anything that we have, any creativity that we have in our life, before we create something, we have to dream the possibility that it's possible. And if we can dream the possibility that it's possible, then we create it in our own life. And that's the powerful imagery that the Torah uses of a dream state, of a tzel, of a shadow image, which is that we're created in God's imagination, through God's imagination. God dreams a dream of having an other, of having a relationship with another. This is what the Zohar speaks about in the beginning of the portion of that Galav Galifu B'tir Heilah, that there's originally the pure light and the light desire to have a relationship with another, with a vessel. And the same thing is also within our own life. We desire to have relationships with others, to create things in our life, to create relationships in our life, to do things in our life. But in order to do that, we first have to believe the possibility of creating an other. We have to leave the space, leave the room, make space for that the others for the other to exist. And by creating that in our own imagination, in our own dream, we give the possibility to have a real encounter with another and a real experience of creativity. And this is the totality of who we are, that the human being is lived fully. We become full human beings when we can live in that possibility of dream, and in that dream create relationships with other, the possibility of relationships with other, the possibility of creating whatever we want for ourselves, and then actually living it. And we're given that power to create whatever we want for ourselves in our life.